I started here, I didn't know anything about mold making, didn't know anything about injection molding, but I had employees, co-workers who knew exactly that, and they taught me everything I know pretty much.
I've always been in manufacturing. My first lab gig ever was in plating.
It's a good entry-level job to start with little schooling, and then you can work your way up all the way to the top.
If you don't have a commission plan that's based on revenue, then your income goals that you have and the potential you want to get to is extremely high. So over 180, over 200,000 a year, then you need to leave that vehicle and you need to start looking elsewhere, because you will not reach it with bonuses and profit sharing and all that stuff. You're not going to reach it if your commission is based on profitability or based on, what is actually net at the end of the year. That beginning 1 to 3 months, even the industrial marketing companies are going through an onboarding or learning phase. If it's a company that doesn't know your market very well, then they're learning. If it's a company that is industrial and they're doing that, then all that they're doing is building in a buffer to increase revenue for themselves. Because it should not take anybody 90 days to learn how to market your business. Deals happen in multiple contact follow-ups. It's not just one time you speak to somebody. The follow-up is one of the most important aspects to closing a deal. So after you've quoted it and you've sent it, now it's time to follow up. Now's the time where you got to roll up the sleeves and actually do the work to get the attention back, especially when you're competing with other people. Now, the areas that you should be following up, it should not be just one singular area. You have to look at the main areas of follow-up, which is going to be email, phone, social media, personal visit, possibly snail mail, sending a postcard, sending a letter, something like that if you're not getting a response. What is up, guys? I am Kyle Milan, and today is Wednesday, December 29th, a few days before the new year. And if you're in technical sales and you're starting to plan your 2022 strategy and you'd like some input on areas to focus on, then in this episode, I'm going to cover my key areas and what I've seen work over the last 10 years. So this episode, we're going to jump right into it. For those of you that have followed this content, followed the live streams, you know the deal. Please share it with people that you know. Please get the word out, like it, so that way people see it in their feed if you feel like other people may value from this. And then also want you to leave the comments as they come up. As you think of a question, we get to the questions after we get to the beef of the content. I want you to put the comment in. We'll get to it. Any question you have, whether it's sales, personal development, business, marketing, whatever, leave those comments in the stream so we can get to them when we get to that point. So the first point we're going to talk about is reflection and commitment. So we're looking at 2022. I know that most people think about their New Year's resolution right about now or within the next couple of days. What are you going to do different? And that's really where you got to start. I mean, you don't have to wait for a new year to have resolutions and make massive change or stop bad habits or things like that. But that's generally what most people do. So now that we're 3 days before, I want you to really look and reflect at the past 12 months. What have you done that helped you? What successes have you had? What failures have you had? And really sit and think about any downfalls, any behavior changes that you need to make, anything that you did that isn't going to benefit you in the future, or any habits that you have right now that are not leading, increasing your productivity, leading to your goals and things like that. You really have to sit and reflect and be honest with yourself. Like if you think that, you're always talking about doing something, but you never do, like sit and think about that and then create the plan of action of how you're going to change it. And you have to make the commitment. I mean, there's no better time to start than now. And you don't have to wait for New Year's to happen, right? You could literally start something, a new program, something new, a new routine that you want to do. You can literally start it right now today, but you have to make that commitment and then tell other people about that commitment. You can say, look, I'm making some changes in my life and this is what I'm going to do. I just want to let you know, because the reason why people do that is not necessarily to brag or tell people about it, but it's so other people hold them accountable. Like, dude, it's been 2 weeks. I thought that you said that you're gonna quit smoking, you're gonna start working out, you're gonna stop drinking, whatever it is, any habits, or you're gonna focus more on sales. You really need that to make that commitment to yourself and stick to it. So the first thing that is going to be a little bit different than what you might have seen before about goals and vision. This is something that I've done for literally probably, I don't even know, 15 years on and off. I'm not perfect. I don't do it every single day. But the first time that I learned about it, I was just blown away. And that's really with setting goals. A common mistake that people make is they set goals that are too achievable. And they're told by people like, you need to set goals that you can reach. So you need to set a goal that's just outside of your reach, and then you reach it and then you feel confident about it. Maybe you set a different goal. The way that I do goals and the way that I've accomplished most things in my career and my life is I set goals that are completely out of reach, right? It's like shoot for the stars and land on the moon type of thing. So the goals that I have are far enough away to where it motivates me to try and achieve them, but then also not completely unrealistic, but it has to put you outside of your comfort zone. If it's a financial goal and you're like, hey, I want to make $150,000 a year and you're at $70,000 a year, that's a good goal. Or if you're like, dude, I want to make $1 million a year owning some sort of business, those are the type of goals that really, at the end of the day, motivate people, because people set goals and they're so small. Once they achieve them, they're like, I'm good to go. I'm not going to set any more goals. So what I want you to do is sit and think about goals in different aspects of your life, whether it's your health, whether it's your family, whether it's relationships, love, your love life, stuff like that, whether it is financial, business, things that you want to accomplish, things that you want to own. But the key here is when you write down these goals, you do not want the goals to be, I will own a business that does this, or I will, double my quota for sales or things like that. What you need to do is say the future tense as if it's now. So you say, like for the sales guys out there, I am the leading salesperson in my industry, and I continue to dominate revenue streams amongst all of my coworkers. So the difference is that you are already doing it. You've got the future state, but you're speaking as if it's now. And you do that with all of your goals and all those, the 5 areas of like health, business, finance, and personal development and stuff like that. You need to write all those goals down, so that way it's the future state. Because then what you're doing, and some people may not believe this, but this is just what's worked for me and what's worked for tons of people out there, is you're putting that vibe and that energy out into the universe, and then things come back, and the same type of energy comes back, and it brings it into your life, and it brings opportunities into your life. Now you may think that that's hocus pocus, but one of the best books on it is The Law of Attraction. Also Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I read those books probably 15 years ago. Completely changed my life. It was right before I got into sales, and I can honestly say that those books helped bring opportunities into my life, but then it was my own action that I took to then accomplish those things. So goals, you got to set big goals. You cannot set small goals. And then from the vision aspect, something that you need to do with those goals is every single day. I want you to, and this is something that I'm saying, I don't do it every day, and I haven't done it every day for the last 15 years, but I've done it pretty consistently, is I want you to sit, close your eyes, and think about 1 or 2 or 3 of those goals, and actually visualize yourself actually having it. And if it's, let's say, like a lot of people are into cars and things like that. If it's a car that you want, or if it's a house that you want, visualize yourself walking into that. Try and connect your feelings into that. Visualize yourself holding onto the steering wheel of that car, or if you want an old muscle car, if you want a new fast car, visualize yourself driving it. What does it feel like? What are the smells that you have? And really connect the other senses into this vision. But you have to do it every single day. So, I mean, you could do it in 10 minutes. You can just sit there at the end of the day and just visualize this. But the power of vision is extremely, underutilized. Most people just think, I'm going to, like, that'd be cool if I had that. But if you actually sit and visualize it, and this is something I try and do every single night before I go to bed personally, and I visualize whatever it is that is my goal. What's it like? What's it feel like? What's the smell? What's the things that I hear? Whether it's having something or accomplishing something. Like let's say that I wanted to get into speaking more at events or things like that. I can, if that's my big goal for 2022, then I could visualize myself walking out onto stage and people clapping and then looking at the eyes in the audience, and do all of that stuff with your eyes closed in your mind. It's extremely powerful. It's completely underutilized. Some people right now are like, dude, this guy's crazy. But I'm telling you that there's a reason why some of the most successful people in the world do these things. It's because it actually works, and it can work at whatever scale you want it to work at. The next area is going to be mindset. So leave a comment below if you guys are like, I'm in, I'm down with this. Put in the comments, I'm in. Most people are probably like, dude, I don't want anybody to know that I'm doing this, but just put in the comments that I'm in, and we'll see them and definitely cheer you along. And so the next area is going to be the mindset. So the mindset is you have to try and remain positive. And it's difficult to do. It's, when I was younger, before I started doing things like this 15, 20 years ago, I would always have, like, I didn't come from money. I didn't come from wealth. My dad was a blue collar worker, a machinist. My mom worked at a deli. I never went on vacation as a kid. We were not wealthy. We were not poor, but we were not wealthy at all. And so I used to think like, oh, I'm not going to accomplish anything when I was younger. Like if I don't do this, like maybe I'll have a normal job or a decent job. But once you change that mindset shift into something from a negative mindset into positivity, and it takes over all aspects of your life, right? Like a positive mindset, you could literally walk into any situation and see the positivity in it. There's a book by Jim Quick called Limitless, and I just finished reading it probably a week ago or so. It's a pretty easy read. It talks about the power of the mind and unlimiting your mind and things like that. It also talks about speed reading and ways to remember people's names and all sorts of stuff like that, which is awesome. But the first half of the book is talking about mindset. I think anybody that's out there that enjoys reading should definitely check out that book, Limitless, because it does. For me, it was kind of just validation of what I currently do. But for anybody out there that finds themselves being negative a little bit too much, this book can kind of open up your eyes into why that could be hurting you instead of helping you, and ways that you can overcome that. But the mindset that you have to have is just like, at the end of the day, what does it matter if this happens, right? If something bad happens, like unless it's detrimental, then definitely handle that situation. But is there really anything that goes on in your life that you need to be negative about, right? Like you wake up every day and you're breathing and you're alive and you get to do whatever you want, depending on the country you live in. But you get to make your own choices. You have freedom of choice and free will. I mean, that's something to be proud of and be happy about. But if you're always this person that's grumpy, or if you look at a situation, something happens and you just get negative about it, or like, things like that, it just kills the mood and it just kills your day. It's like that mindset of like, you're in traffic and you're like, I hate this traffic sucks, whatever. You're putting that energy and that vibe out there of negativity, and then the universe and then sends you more negative things, right? So you have to focus on the positivity, be like, yeah, this traffic sucks, but you know what, I'm still going to make it on time, or I'm only going to be a couple minutes late, and just kind of brush it off, and then don't let it kill your mood. But the mindset is extremely important, that before you can really take any steps of action and see major accomplishments in your career or your life, you have to get your mindset straight. So I'd say check out that book, Jim Quick. He's been on numerous shows, TED Talks, things like that. He's an expert of the brain and the way that the brain works. It's a great read for those that are interested in learning things like that. Now we're going to get into the action. And this is when things get real, right? So like procrastination, I've been a procrastinator before. I'm married with kids, and it's like something needs to be fixed. I'm like, I'll do that tomorrow and stuff like that. But the action step of this is really where most people can be like, yeah, I'll do it, but then you don't. So I'm going to lay it out super simple and quick, so that way we don't go on for too long. But there's, I think, 12 points or so of action. The first one's going to be, you need to write down your goals every single day. So we talked about goals and how you need to vision, whether it's 6 goals, 12 goals, things like that. Maybe some of you heard of vision boards before. I've done numerous vision boards myself over the years. I still need to create a new one because the vision boards that I have are somewhat outdated, and I've already accomplished those goals. So I need to create new vision boards. But you want to write down your goals every single day. And it may seem redundant and may seem ridiculous, but that's really getting the conviction and the commitment if you write it down every single day. Now, if you don't write it down every single day, nothing's going to happen to you. But if you are committed to massively making 2022 your domination year, which for you guys in technical sales, it is Like, it is easy. I wish that the way it was now was how it was back when I was in technical sales, because you literally have everything at your fingertips. Like, for those veterans out there, if anybody's watching as a veteran, like, you remember the manufacturer's directory back in 2006, 2002, where it was like a Bible, a book of businesses and their addresses and their name. And then you would literally use that to cold call, cold visit, and all that stuff. Nowadays, it's so easy. So if you're not dominating right now, you're the issue. You're the reason why. Maybe your employer isn't supporting you and you don't have enough time, right? But it's so easy these days. So you need to set these goals and write them down every single day and make that commitment that this is going to be the year 2022 where you absolutely dominate the market. The next thing is going to be critical tasks. So some people say 7 critical tasks, some 5, some 3. I would say anywhere from 3 to 5 critical tasks every single day. So you've got this task list of all these things that you need to do. The issue with trying to do everything or putting everything on the list is that you're going to end up not doing most of it, and it's overwhelming, and you're just going to be like, this list is too long. I'm just going to focus on other things that I get enjoyment out of. But you need to write down 3 to 5 critical tasks every single day. A critical task is defined as something that will make a major impact in your career or against the goals that you have set. So if it's 5 critical tasks, you write those down. If it's a new routine, that's on there for 21 days until the routine is established. Once it's been on there for 21 days, it can drop off, because that's typically how long it takes to create a new routine, is roughly 3 weeks. But write down 5 critical tasks every single day that you need to accomplish. As you accomplish them, check them off the list. If you're doing a new routine, put it on there. You don't want to fill it up with just like 5 personal things or 5 business things. Like, you need to have a mix of different areas of your job, of your life, some with health, some with wellness, some with business. But 5 critical tasks, that's it. If you do 5 critical tasks or 3 critical tasks a day, I guarantee every single day you will see major movement in your goals and major accomplishments when you look up at the end of the week, like, dude, look at all that stuff that I did. So writing those down every single day and using them every single day is extremely important. The next thing is going to be, for those out there that are into health and wellness, exercise every day. Does not matter. Just one exercise a day. It could be for 45 minutes, an hour, whatever it is. It's not, it doesn't have to be extreme weightlifting. It just, for those of you that don't exercise or on any sort of regular basis, just do something every single day, because it'll drastically improve all of the other aspects of your life. Like, if you're in better shape, it helps with your mental clarity. If you're in better shape, it helps with your physical activities. You become less lazy. You increase your energy. It's just important to do it. I know every single time that I go into the industrial area and the manufacturing sector, like, most salespeople could use to lose 20 pounds, maybe 30 pounds. That's just, they become busy. They become complacent. They haven't focused on their health and wellness. It's extremely important. And all you have to do is just one workout a day. It could be at your house. It could be at a gym. It could be lifting weights. It could be running. It could be walking. Literally just do one exercise every single day. The next thing is going to be reading every single day. You need to read every day. Some people will be like, no, I don't like reading. I hate reading. I listen to podcasts. I listen to YouTube videos or things like that. Here's the issue with it, is that when you are listening to a podcast, you're typically doing other things, whether it's you're mowing the grass, driving your car. You're not actively listening. You're passively listening. So you're not completely engaged into it. I hated reading as a kid. It was one of my worst languages, reading comprehension and English in high school and even grammar school, elementary, whatever. Now I love reading because I'm reading something I actually enjoy. So you get to pick the book: personal development, personal health, health and wellness, sales books, marketing books, anything under the sun, any type of hobby that you have or anything that interests you. Read every single day, just like 10, 15 pages, read for 15 minutes, see how much you can get done in 15 minutes, but do it every day. You're going to be actively reading, actively learning. You can't stop learning, right? Like, I'm still learning every single day. I feel like I'm pretty accomplished from a technical sales standpoint, but I'm still reading every single day about personal development, sales, marketing tactics. How can I take things that work in other industries, apply to the industries I work in? What can I do differently? And that's only going to come from reading. You have to be a lifelong learner. And if you enjoy it, if you enjoy the subject, then it's not even going to be like a task. You're just like, I'm going to, be reading. It's all good. The next area is going to be, Now we get into the action with work. I want you to make 25 phone calls a day. And you may be thinking like 25 phone calls, I don't have time for that. Um, you do have time for that. And you may think, why only 25? Well, because you can do 150 phone calls in one day. I've done it. We've done it years ago. That was a service that we provided. We were making 150 phone calls per day for some of our clients. You can do 150, but you won't do 150 consistently every single day. So doing 25 phone calls a day, it could be a follow-up phone call. It could be a new prospect phone call. It could be a current customer phone call of just saying, hey, I wanted to see what's going on with this new project, but it has to be something that is going to push the scale of marketing, sales, whatever it is that you're doing. You need to push the scale by doing 25 phone calls. 80% of the time, 75% of the time, nobody's going to answer the phone. Leave a voicemail, then send an email, but you need to make 25 phone calls a day to get that into your habit. The next thing is you're going to want to do 25 messages on LinkedIn. And these are going to be messages that are from a prospecting standpoint, and 25 emails. Write up 25 emails. The messages can be generic, trying to add value. Hey, we just wrote this article. We just did this video. I just saw this thing in the news. Here's something that's important. Here's a new tech data sheet, something like that. 25 messages and on LinkedIn, and 25 emails every single day. This should not take you a lot of time. You don't have to be super specific on who you're sending it to. You should have some sort of grip on your prospect database. And things like that, and who you're going after. So you want to do it 25 in each category every single day. You've got the phone calls going. Now you're doing email messages. This is just something that is going to build your pipeline so fast. I guarantee you, if you do this, you'll have a significant amount of success in your prospecting and adding new customers in. The next thing is going to be, I want you to spend 30 minutes of networking. And by networking, it could be in person, but with COVID and lockdowns and all that stuff going on, most of it's going to be done doing LinkedIn. But 30 minutes of networking and building out your network. So you want to add connections on LinkedIn. See all of my videos on YouTube talking about how exactly to do it. What's a weekly routine? What should you do? Go to my YouTube channel, just search my name. You can find it. I've got a playlist on LinkedIn marketing, LinkedIn sales strategy tactics, but 30 minutes of adding and building out your network. The next thing is going to be 30 minutes a day of engaging with that network. It could just be liking posts, commenting on posts, sending people messages saying, hey, I saw this post, great job. But you need to do it every single day for 30 minutes. The second to last area is going to be 60 minutes of your day needs to be spent on follow-up, following up on deals that you had, following up on old customers, old things in your pipeline, the follow-up tactics, as you may have seen in some of our other content, whether it's emailing those people, calling those people. Like, don't say, oh, well, that's part, like, I'm doing these 25 calls for prospects, that's part of my follow-up. No, it's completely different. This is 60 minutes solid of follow-up every single day, whether it's email, personal visits, cold calls, messages, using the phone, creating something that you're going to send in the mail, whatever it is, whatever the tactic is that you feel is going to be able to get that person to engage back with you. You need to spend 60 minutes doing that every single day. The last one is going to be personal visits. So for some of you guys out there in technical sales, it may be hard for you to physically visit somebody if your territory is the entire nation, but I'm assuming that you have some local clients, some industrial parks, some tech parks, things like that. But 10 personal visits every single week. These can be cold visits. So you've found a prospect list, or you've created a prospect list, you've got this pipeline that you're trying to work on, you've got people that you're reaching out to on LinkedIn, and then I just want you to visit 10 companies a week. The reason why I'm saying 10 is that I found that at the last company that I worked at, I found that if I did 10 cold visits a week, I would typically get 2 people that would say, yes, I have time to talk to you right now. And you may be thinking like, oh, with COVID, I don't know if they're in the office or not. It doesn't matter. It still counts towards something. But I would see pretty much a 20% success rate if I just walk into a company that I know they use this type of equipment. I know that for a fact. So I walk in and say, hey, I'd like to talk to whoever's in charge of purchasing the equipment for your plant, or I'd like to talk to whoever's in charge of your robotics. Do you have an engineering manager that's around that I can just talk to for 5 minutes? I would do that every single day until I got to 10 people a week. And sometimes I would just be like, all right, Wednesday next week, that's my day to do my cold visits. I'm going to this industrial park or this area. I'm just going to go one after the other. It may take me 4 hours, 5 hours, but I'm going to do all 10 of them in one day. So the rest of my week could be spread out doing all the other tasks. But you'll see about a 20% success rate. And as you do that every single week, it just starts to build up that pipeline. It's like all these things that I'm telling you in the action step is these are all things that are going to compound and build up your pipeline and go into, bringing new opportunities in. And if you continue to do it, and that's the key here, is the last step is you have to rinse and repeat. You have to do this every single week. This is not something you can start and stop. Like, make 2022 different than all the other years where you started stuff and then stopped it. Like, now's the time to do it. What are you waiting for? So if you do this every single day, eventually after 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 weeks, 6 months, you're going to be sitting back being like, dude, this is crazy how many opportunities I have and how many people I've talked to and how many new deals I've quoted and how many new customers I brought in. That's really what you have to get to, is doing this on a daily basis. These steps, these 12 steps or whatever it is, doing it on a daily basis, you will see massive results, but you have to make that commitment and just try it for 30 days. If you don't see anything positive from this after 30 days, there's nothing that you could say helped you, improved you in any way, shape, or form, then stop doing it. But I guarantee that if you give it 30 days hard and just go 30 days strong as heck and say, I'm going to do this every day for 30 days, you will see massive results. And once you get that taste of success, then you're like, all right, that's usually what people need, is to say, I'm all in, I'm committed. I'm going to do this for the rest of the year to see what it can accomplish. So that's the main beef of the content. We're going to take a quick break and go into, and then when we come back, we'll answer any questions that you guys have. Please leave them in the comments below, anything about sales, marketing, industrial stuff, and we'll be right back after this short break. Dream job for a sales engineer, I break it down into two main areas: opportunity and support. I mean, some people want to have the entire country or entire region under their belt to be able to travel and do all that stuff. Whereas other people, if they've got family and kids and they don't want to travel as much, then maybe the opportunity for them is working remote, not going into the office every day. And the second thing is going to be support. One of the most golden handcuffs for anybody in technical sales, they get brought in as a hunter. So they're hired like, I need you to hunt for business. I want you to grow my company, grow my region, whatever it is, right? They land the new business, they bring it in. And because you don't have the support team in place, you have now just put on the golden handcuffs onto a salesperson, which is, you did your job, you're getting paid for that job. But now I need you to actually handle that, which is going to take you away from hunting for more business. I would say the best CRM for you to use would be HubSpot. And I'm not saying that because we are a partner with them. I'm saying that because I've used almost every single type of CRM out there. What it comes down to at the end of the day is, what are your people actually going to use? You can have the best CRM system, but if they don't use it, it doesn't matter. I mean, HubSpot's cheap. You can get into it for $50 a month. And it does everything you need it to do for $50 a month. You don't have to go to the marketing professional at $800 or $850 a month. I think too often industrial companies are using Salesforce. And like I've said in other episodes, Salesforce is more of an enterprise solution. It's not something that's great for like 5 people, but HubSpot's the easiest to use, easiest to integrate, and it can grow with you as you grow. For sales, working with estimating, yes. If you're just getting started, if you have a small company, I could see you doing all that. The line I wouldn't want to have to cross is doing the sales, doing the estimating, and then also creating whatever it is. When I started this agency 6 years ago, I was literally doing everything. I didn't have my first employee or help for probably 6 to 9 months. So I was building the web, doing all the sales, running the business, doing all the project management. I did it all myself. And so eventually start getting people under you to take pieces of your responsibility off of your plate so you can look at bigger picture. That's usually the way to grow and scale a company. So I would say if your company is small, yes, that is normal. But I would want to try and make sure there's a plan in place with the ownership or the bosses to make sure that that's not the long-term path that you're going to go down. All right, and we are back after that short break. Hopefully you guys like that video. Hopefully you guys like the videos that we make. I think they're pretty dope, and Nick does an amazing job doing it. But hopefully you guys like it. So let's go to the comments. Throw them up, Nick. Nathan, good morning from Washington State. Nathan, what's up, man? It's been 15 days, 20 days. You still living in that state? You got to get out of there, dude. I know you don't like it up there. Tushar, my brother from Canada, you're welcome, dude. Keep grinding, keep pushing. All right, Nathan, I've been doing the legwork for laying the foundation for my organization. I'm very excited for 2022. Yeah, definitely, dude. 2022, you're going to crush it. You're going to kill 2022. Your product's going to take off. You're going to blow up. You're going to have more opportunities, more customers, more in your pipeline than you could possibly handle. And you're going to be scratching your head at how you got there. And you're going to look back on it and be like, because, dude, I put in the grind and the hustle. That's your goal. The doc is back. Thanks for your time. Fantastic advice. Yep. Happy New Year to you too, brother. Nathan, you've been doing it. You're in. Let's go. Let's go. Brittany Wright. Oh, what's up, Brittany? We haven't talked in a while. Brittany is an amazing salesperson. Brittany can contest that. What was it, Brittany? Probably 3 years ago when we first met through LinkedIn. And we had a couple calls. I was like, dude, Brittany, do this every single day. The videos, building out your LinkedIn network. And she came back and was like, this stuff works. I mean, she can definitely say that this stuff works. Greta, I'm in. Let's go, Greta. Greta is our biz dev manager and brings all of the experience. I always say 15 years. It's only 10. I always age her, but 10 years of experience in industrial. Greta's in. Let's go. Tracy's in. We're keeping track of these names, man. We're going to hold you guys accountable. Being humble serves everyone. Yeah, exactly, Nathan. Like, there's no, like, dude, there's people that are like, oh, like for me, this content we create completely free, right? Like I'll tell anybody exactly what they need to do, whether it's in sales, marketing, business, whatever, completely free, because like I remain humble. Even though we've had successes, like who cares? You don't have to get too big for your own brand and start being like, oh, I want money for this stuff. Like always stay humble. That's the key. LinkedIn user, that's probably Nancy. LinkedIn user, I'm in. If that's you, Nancy, I'm holding you accountable. Dale's in. Let's go. I appreciate the engagement, guys. It really helps us out on our side. Mohammed, I like your speech. Thanks, man. Sometimes I think my voice is annoying. Sometimes I feel like Nick thinks my voice is annoying after he listens to it for hours doing the editing on this. Franklin, you're doing a good job. Franklin, thank you, man. I appreciate that. So this is from Nancy. Nancy's at PSI Urethanes in Austin, and they're awesome. When we're reaching out to people on LinkedIn, how long should we wait between adding a connection, sending content to them, to following up with them? I would say if you add a new connection, I would send them a piece of content in a week to 2 weeks max. Send them something that you've created. Definitely within that first week. I would give it a few days, but then definitely within the first week, send them a piece of content. And then following up, what I would do is maybe send them another piece of content or say, hey, did you check out what I sent you? I would give that like another week to 2 weeks because people could be busy. It depends on the person. But I would say after probably 4 to 6 weeks max, if you sent a couple pieces of content, that's when I'd go in and say, hey, if you guys ever need something that we do, so for you, Nancy, if you guys ever need some custom cast urethane, let me know. We're here. I mean, you guys do it great. And well, you do it great because I know that for a fact. But a lot of times people are like, hey, here's my line card, buy from us, or we want an opportunity. But if you're just subtle about it and just be like, hey, if you ever need something, let me know. If you got time next week for like 10 quick minutes, 20 minutes to talk about something, let me know if you got time and there's some interest there. So I would definitely hit that by 6 weeks max, but send a couple pieces of content within the first 1 to 2 weeks. Nathan, when it comes to manufacturing distribution, I'm very unfamiliar with databases and points of contact. Manufacturing distribution. So if you're trying to sell your product through distribution, what I would do is if you're trying to build a database of people and you're trying to do it on your own, I would use LinkedIn and just start searching for like whatever it is that you sell, whatever product you sell has to be in some sort of category or industry. Look for possibly competitors. Even if it's the old way, if you're like, dude, my thing is there's no competition. Like I've said this 100 times before, if your thing is a new thing, and we've got a client that we just added last week that's got this new crazy technology with robotics integration, nobody else can do it. And maybe the same with your product. Nobody else can do it, but the competition is the traditional way of doing it. So look and do some research on competition. And if they're selling through distribution, look at who those distributors are. Then reverse engineer, find them on LinkedIn, see what they're categorized on, Google search them, look to see what are they showing up as, go to their website, see who they work with, what they classify themselves as, and then just build the program out backwards. So once you know this is what they do, this is what they're categorized as, now you can search for those companies and those specific types of distributors. If you want to build a database and spend some money, then I would say use Zoom Info because they've got the best database. But you're going to get Zoom Info, you're going to spend $12,000 to $15,000 a year for it, and you're going to be like, I don't know what to search. So do the free stuff first. Do look at competition, look at distributors, local distributors, national distributors, just search, build out lists on a spreadsheet, and then pick up the phone and call and be like, this is what I do. This is the product I have. Do you guys do distribution for that? And then just, rinse and repeat from there. Dale, could you elaborate a little further on the 3 to 5 critical daily tasks? Yeah. So 3 to 5 critical daily tasks could be, let's say it's 5, because 3, if you do 3 tasks and you get them done, you can get them done in 2 hours. I think 5 is the best. So let's say there's 5 tasks. The one thing that a new habit you need to start is you're going to work out every single day, right? You're going to work out every single day for 30, 40, 60 minutes, whatever it is. That's one of your critical tasks for the day to help you towards your health goals. Another critical task for the day could be, I'm going to follow up with these 3 people that I sent a quote to. That's a critical task. Another critical task could be, I'm going to write that proposal for that customer that I haven't been able to do yet. You look at your task list and then just highlight out what are the things that are really critical, like things that maybe you've been procrastinating, or maybe they just take a lot of time and you're like, I'm going to do that tomorrow. I don't have time today. Put that down as a critical task. As long as you get those 5 critical tasks done, then you can consider yourself winning that day, and it's a win, right? It's not a loss. If you don't do them, then those things get moved on to the next day. But it's really, a critical task is defined as something that is going to move the ball towards the goal that is set within your goal. So if it's something that you're trying to reach income potential, you're trying to reach pipeline size, you're trying to do, double the revenue that you did for your employer. If that task is not something easy, like send 1 email, but if it's something that's critical, like schedule a meeting with somebody that is going to then lead to potential business, then I would say that is a critical task. Hopefully that helps, Dale. Brittany, I've tripled my engagement year over year as well as income by you. Yeah, let's go, Brittany. Brittany's awesome. Brittany, don't you live back up in Washington State, the state I hate? Brittany got into industrial, I think it was injection molding, 0 experience in industrial, and then she just started dominating and blew it up using this stuff. So thank you, Brittany. I appreciate your kind words. You're awesome. Nathan, you're no Charlton. I think you speak. Thanks. Yeah. Speaking, if the camera wasn't on, I'd cuss a lot because that's just where I go to. But thank you, Nathan. I appreciate that. We will have. So anybody that wants to see a recording of this, if you're doing something else, if you're on break, if you're with your kids, family, traveling, whatever, all of our videos, all of our content goes on the YouTube channel. So all of the lives from start to finish, right now we're at 38 minutes, the whole thing is going to be on the YouTube channel. And then bits and pieces of this video, the main core content minus the questions, is going to be a separate independent video that'll typically be between 12 and 15 minutes long. So just search my name on YouTube and subscribe and turn on notifications. And then every time we post a new video, which is typically 2 to 3 videos a week, you get notified and you can go back and rewatch it. That's like a shameless plug. I love when people ask those questions. Kyle, Tushar is back. Kyle, the industrial sector is usually saturated with older decision makers. What do you suggest to build confidence with decision makers if you're a younger rep who's trying to create trust? I'm a fairly young guy and sometimes feel I don't get taken seriously compared. Yeah, dude, I dealt with the same thing. So I got into industrial sales when I was 25 and nobody took me seriously. You know how you get people to take you seriously is by having the knowledge. I know that you have a background in engineering, and if you're able to talk about your product, your service in an intelligent way, and not just be like, yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I don't know the answer to that, and not have any of the answers from a technical standpoint, then they will say like, you're just a young kid. You don't know what you're doing. But in order to overturn that, just have the knowledge, man. You've got the background in engineering to where you can probably understand most things. And I know that you understand what it is that you guys do at your company. But being young it's actually good for you, because all of my other content, I talk about how do you stand out, right? How do you be different? Being young in a group of older guys and veterans makes you stand out by default, right? So when I was there, I was young I was 25, 26, going against guys that were 40, 45 that knew everything. And I only knew enough to be dangerous. once I got into my late 20s, early 30s, now I knew almost everything to be able to answer any question from an engineering standpoint because I've been doing it for so long. And I was like, well, like now, how do I be different? Well, I started wearing a tie and a suit. And I didn't care if I walked through a plant and I was known as the douchebag wearing the tie. I was different than everybody else because everybody else was wearing logoed polos and I was showing up in a suit. Maybe it looked like I sold insurance. I don't know, but it made me stand out and be different. So you're already doing it by being young. Just come with the knowledge, come with the speed and the hustle, and they will take you seriously. Juan Antonio Martinez, Kyle, great learning. I will start working on you. Yeah, dude. So I'm holding you to that, Juan. You better start doing it. We're all going to hold you to it, hold you accountable. All right, Dale. I'm glad that answered your question. That's like the most common, like people will say, like, critical task is like, it's not like, oh, I got to take a shower today. Like, don't do any sort of routines like nothing that's a routine that you do already without thinking. That's not a critical task. It has to be something that's really pushing it forward. All right. So that's all the questions we have for now. We're going to take a short break because every time we have a show, good questions come in the last minute. So we're going to take a quick short break to see if anybody else have any questions, and we will be right back. All right, we're back waiting for any last minute questions to come in. If you guys know anybody that needs industrial marketing, needs the stuff that we do at MFG Tribe, please share this with them. We appreciate all the love that you guys give out there. It helps us out. We don't ask for any sort of financial fee for this. We don't block our content or hide it behind gates or need your email address to see it. We just come, bring the content, and hopefully you guys get value and you're like, you know what, I want to help these guys out. I know somebody that can use MFG Tribe for their industrial marketing. A little bit of a shameless plug for us, but every little bit helps. Even if it's just share it with a person that you know, every little bit helps. So we've got one last question coming in from Nathan. Kyle, do you know of anyone either in the National Science Foundation or the American Academy of Underwater? Geez, man, I don't know anybody. But you know who I do know who somebody, well, how do I phrase this? Do you know how I do know someone that, or I know that someone that knows them is LinkedIn? I would say just go to LinkedIn and search that foundation, search that association, click on all employees at it, start hitting them up, connect with them, send them messages, whatever it is, ask them your questions. Connect with them first so you don't have to pay an email to send them a message. But I would connect with every single person at that company. If there's 46 people in the association, I would connect with all of them at the same time. LOL, thanks. My number one critical task today was rediscovering your content. Thanks, Abraham. Tushar, I'm on the same boat. I come into an engineering firm, absolutely no experience or knowledge. I've been using my people skills and ability to build personal relationships to gain trust while my knowledge expands. You got it, Abraham, man. I was 23 at the time, now 25. Yeah, dude, you guys, like you young guys, man, you don't know how easy you have it. Like you can kill this industry. Sorry to all the vets out there, man, but you guys are sleeping. The vets are sleeping. Younger guys come in, willing to do technology, willing to do different things. Like I'll take somebody that doesn't know anything and teach them the way to do it, but they've got motivation, than somebody that comes in and is like, dude, I already know how to do it. You have to be willing to learn and grow. And that's what the youth brings. There's not enough people like you, Abraham and Tushar, that are coming into it like, dude, I'm just here to hustle and grind. Like that's all it is at the end of the day. So Abraham, next week we're gonna be back with our normal scheduled shows on Monday and Wednesday, Marketing Monday and Wednesday on sales. I want to see you there. We will make sure that you look at my channel, look at the page, and definitely set reminders for it noon on Monday and Wednesday. You better come. I'm going to be asking you some questions about what you've been doing the last week. So that's how I'm going to hold you accountable. Tushar's a great dude and he's crushing out there. And hopefully you've seen some momentum. Everything that you need, literally every tactic strategy that you need is on the YouTube channel. Just go through, binge watch it, listen to it while you're driving. I mean, whenever, like, I don't have any mentors that personally mentor me. Whenever people are like, yeah, you need a mentor, I think that you do. But if you can't, if you don't want to pay somebody to mentor you, or if you don't have a friend that's reached the level of success that you have and they're not going to mentor you, then what I've always done is I've just used mentors of people that have achieved greatness bigger than me and just consume their content like ridiculous amounts of it, like every single day. Anytime that you have a break in your schedule, anytime you're driving, don't listen to music. Just play a podcast, play a YouTube video, pay the $9 for YouTube to where you can lock your phone screen and it just plays the audio still and it doesn't stop the video. Pay that $9 a month, pay that money. But just just drown yourself in the content. And then once you've soaked it up, if they're producing new content, then keep consuming it, but then find somebody else and then drown yourself in their content and then rinse and repeat. That's what it's all about. Nathan, happy New Year to you too, man. We at MFG Tribe, we've had a good New Year. We've had a good year this year. 2021 is our biggest year of growth in probably the last 5 years. And 2022 is looking insanely busy. So I wish the same to you and your product. And if there's anything we could do to help you out, just let us know. I'm looking to network with electrics engineers and mechanical engineers. Yeah, they're all on LinkedIn. Half of them are in this stream. Like, here's a cool thing about LinkedIn is that when you're building out your network, you need to connect with, as you connect with people, you get more second degree connections, right? So you have a third degree connection, which means you're not connected with anybody that's connected with them. Let's see how many times I can say the word connected. So if you connect with people that have a lot of connections that are in the industry, the ecosystem, the demographic that you're trying to connect with, then all of those people then become second degree connections and are more likely to connect with you or engage with you because you have mutual friends, so to speak. So I've got over 17,000 people that are connected with me. 80% of them are sales, marketing, engineering. So hopefully you connect with more people. That's a way to build out your network, and then just ask them for help, questions, things like that. Just put in the work and ask them. Everybody on this stream, anybody that's still on this stream, we're at 48 minutes. If you're still listening to this, if you're still watching it, hopefully you've made the commitment that you're just going to go, as I don't want to cuss, but you're going to go hard on this goal of 2022 and just dominate it. It is literally going to be so easy for you if you stick to the tasks that I've laid out. It will come so easy once you get over that hump. After 21 days, it's a routine and you're just doing it every single day. You will kill it. And now's the time to take it. Roger that. You got it, Nathan. And hopefully eventually you've got plans to move out of that state, because I know you hate it there. Maybe you don't hate it. Maybe you just don't love it. Come down to Texas, dude. We will welcome you. So that's it for today, guys. We went 49 minutes. Nick is going to kill me because he's got to edit all this content. Hopefully not, though. And so closing statement, we do this for the YouTube videos. So if you got value out of this content, share with one person you know. Be sure to connect with me on LinkedIn. Follow me on YouTube. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on notifications. And stay tuned for all the content that we do weekly. And we will see you on the next one.